Welcome to the module entitled Public Key Infrastructure, which discusses how to implement the principle of trust but control. First of all, let's think about public key infrastructure from the functional perspective. Let's assume that we are the person on the left side of the picture above. For some reason, we have to consult a doctor. The first thing we need to do before we follow this doctor's instructions and advice is consider whether this is actually a person whom we should trust. How do we verify this? The problem is that we don't know them personally. In business life, and in particular in the virtual world of the internet, we often have to trust, sometimes in important matters, people who we have never seen with our own eyes, people whom we don't know. How can we build a relationship of trust? Maybe we need to take someone at their word. I'm the best, and in addition, I have good intentions. If not me, then who can you trust? If we're skeptical to such an approach, we may ask a person to prove it. What can this person do at this point? Maybe he can show a diploma from a reputable university. What questions should now appear in our mind? Is this a school that we can trust? A person who we don't know, a doctor, tries to prove to us his identity by showing us a document issued by some organization. If the document is the original and is not falsified in any way, then for this relationship of trust to make sense, the organization issuing the diploma must be on the list of organizations that we already trust. We trust that the school produces talented graduates. If this is the case and the given person is a graduate from this school, we trust that person. A relationship of trust based on certificates is built this way. Certificates confirm the identity of system users. However, in order to trust the certificate, we must trust the certification authority who issued it. This is the starting point. How does it work in practice? How do we implement the comics shown in a computer system? We need a few things. First, we need certification authorities, meaning services that will issue certificates to authorized users. We assume that the procedure for issuing certificates will be in accordance with our expectations. The basic error is also that we trust all certificates in the same way. Some certification authorities are more reliable than others. Secondly, we need the certificates themselves. They're digital identity cards. This may be something like in the previous picture, a laminated diploma with the seal of a given university, in order to be certain that it is the school which issued it. However, we do not use laminated pieces of paper in computer systems. We use data in digital form. Exactly the same principle applies to a digital certificate. A digital certificate will be evidence of somebody's identity, issued by someone else and signed by them. This someone will be the certification authority. The use of certificates is strictly defined. If we visit a doctor and he showed us a diploma from a technical university, it wouldn't necessarily arouse our confidence regarding his competence in the field of medicine. We would know that he actually is, for example, John Smith, and that he is a great electronic engineer. But this doesn't translate into his capacity to perform open heart surgery. The same is true with certificates. A certificate has a specific purpose, and its purpose is clearly defined and recorded in the certificate. In practice, to issue certificates, the certification authority must have some sort of template. On the basis of the template, it will issue the certificates. Somehow we need to receive the certificate. We need to have a certificate distribution point. We need to know where to go to get the certificate. All the more in computer systems, because very often we will request such certificates automatically. In one of the past modules, we had the opportunity to discuss the topic of encrypted file systems, EFS. There also we use a certificate. An application or a request to issue a certificate was sent automatically. Let's return to the earlier analogy of the patient and the doctor. Even if the doctor had a certificate from a medical university and we trusted this school, we should still check one more thing. We should check whether or not the certificate is still valid, whether or not for some reason that person has not lost his competence. For example, whether or not the university revoked the certificate. In the case of a university diploma, this rarely happens. But in the computing environment, certificate revocation is not so rare. We should still have some tools to manage the entire infrastructure in an effective and efficient manner, meaning all the points which will be talked about.